Hey, good morning, everybody. It's early morning to LALATE, the 6:30 edition. How are you? The toast is toasting, the butter is buttering. I'm here, you're here. And third stimulus could be here in just hours. Oh my goodness. Not in your bank account. Donut guy, settle down there. bacon donut guy. Third stimulus as debuted by press conference could be here in a couple hours. We may see the details finally of Joe Biden's third stimulus package, which we have been talking about since the Pina and the Santa Maria came to the United States. It seems like what I've been talking about forever. And we may see it by the end of today, either in leaked details or in the press conference thereafter. But the exciting great news is that third stimulus has been really sort of a big issue of contention. And the question is, how soon would it become law? What do you need to have ready for? And in this video, I get viewers ready to pounce in a way I've never been done before for third stimulus package. Get ready to rock and roll. Get ready to pounce if you're Purple Hawk. This is Early Mornings LALATE. Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Early Morning to LA, the 6:30 edition. I'm so excited you're here. Boy, what a day the next 48 hours will be. You know, we've had a lot of distractions this week. There has not been a particular lot of talking about stimulus in the last 2 days. But today and tomorrow, that's going to change. So please subscribe because I don't want you to miss anything. I don't want you to miss an alert. Don't want you to miss a breaking news conference, and I don't want you to miss details. So make sure you subscribe. Also hit that alert button, like this video, and also consider becoming a member by joining. Members have access to videos before anyone else, early access to videos. Also have badges next to their names, special emojis like sirloin, moolah, second, $12 ice cream, and Hot Mess Express. And the more people who become members, the more emojis I can add. I mean, we'll be adding some more. So please consider joining. The link is in the top of this video. Also, this is an instant premiere, and as an instant premiere, you can chat with your per-bound buddies. Chat about what you think is going to happen in the third stimulus. Multiple stimulus checks, FPUC retro. We've chatted about it. What do you think? I had a little bit of time to sleep on it last night. What do you think? Gonna happen? No? Yes? So drop in the comments over there and chat with your friends. And boy, I'll next see you at 8:30 as well. And with that, let's get to the breaking news. The breaking news that the third stimulus package will be debuted in form over the next 48 hours. How would it functionally come out? I believe that you're first going to hear details of it, leaked elements of it, a little bit here, a little bit there in pre-press conference tidbit news articles. An insider tells, so-and-so newspaper that they heard that Biden will do this. You're going to hear something like that. Then you're going to eventually hear the press conference. I am advising the viewers that I don't think the press conference will be comprehensive. I don't think it'll include everything. I think it'll be sort of broad stroke. It'll be sort of eloquent. It'll be more emotional than financial. It'll be like, I'm trying to put you back to good. I'm trying to help you. We're going to be a better country, and we're going to come out together, kumbaya. It's going to be a little bit more than that, than financial, but I do think it will have some words in it. The question is, how much detail? I don't think a lot of detail. I ask viewers, they don't think a lot of detail. So the question is, when do we actually see the bill? These bills is when we actually have big issues. In this video, I'm going to explain to you why the bill is so critical to actually see when we're talking about third stimulus. Let's get right to it. First, the bill is important for the stimulus check. The eligibility has been a big issue for the stimulus check. You know why the Cash Act did not get approved in December of 2020 was because the eligibility on the top end was out of control. People who made $350,000 were getting a $9,000 stimulus check. So we have to see if they're changing eligibility for anyone that would watch this channel in a way that's negative that we just not see. Are they taking out the adult dependents? Are they taking out the retroactive check for that adult dependent? So we need to see the language of the bill for the Cash Act, which will be in the bill. Next, for multiple stimulus checks, we need to see if it is in there, who's getting the multiple stimulus checks. There may be very strict guidelines about it. Then, as we turn to the most obvious examples, like hazard pay, Hazard pay. I mean, there was a time, I don't know how many hazard pay videos I made, 500, 400. I would record them every day outside. It would always be the third video. No, it would always be the second video. It always had the Afternoons LALATE logo. And I would laugh, I would joke with you that I'm still going to make a hazard pay video, even if it's unsuccessful. But they were well-watched videos, generally. And I would sit there and go through the pages, and it was 7 pages of it, of who qualifies as essential worker. And then I would come back on Purple Power Live and answer your questions. And then I would go over another guidance that they were talking about as guidance. You see what I'm talking about is that when we're talking about hazard pay, there's a lot to hazard pay. Are you going to be essential worker or are you not? Are you going to have to apply or is the employer applying? So it's more than just there's hazard pay. It's more than just it's $10,000. Is it hazard pay for you? Is it hazard pay you can actually get? Is it hazard pay you're actually going to qualify for? You see how this is sort of evolving. The next thing is the FPUC retro. This is the one that we sort of can hear 2 words and know the answers in a second. So what's the weekly amount? And then we're going to hear the question, when does it start from? If it starts from, February 1st goes forward, we know what we got. If it says that there is an eligibility window that starts back on, then we're like, oh, okay, what date is it? So yeah, that's why we got to see the bill. Then there's everything else that you sort of wonder about, like a Lifeline grant or a CDC grant. But then we have issues like EIDL grant, EIDL loan. The EIDL under the second stimulus, which you see me sort of trying to make it easy and clear on a daily basis on the channel, you can tell my struggle to make something that sounds very complicated, clear enough for you to comprehend. Well, when we come into the third stimulus and you're starting to open up EIDL to everyone, then all the questions are, well, what about my EIDL for 2020? And you mess it up here, and you mess it up there, and you mess it up here, and you mess it up there. Are they going to fix any of the mess ups from Javita Carranza of 2020? You're just going to give everyone beautiful EIDL in 2021 that while the rest of us got messed up. And then you're going to say you can't reapply. Wait a second, we never got it last year. So there is going to be this whole ramp up that we got to see this bill. We really need to look at the bill and understand, okay, which of these things will really help me and how will it help me? The stimulus check, will I be covered in the stimulus check? The FPUC, will I be covered in the FPUC? The hazard pay, will I be covered as an essential worker? And if not, how much am I going to get? Do I apply for it? And everything that you always wondered with hazard pay. Hazard pay has a lot of big issues, like if you are unemployed, if you're now unemployed but were employed before, or you're fired, or you're laid off, are you still eligible? Or you're an independent contractor. I remember all those questions about hazard pay as an independent contractor. For example, viewers would always ask me, I was a truck driver, do I get hazard pay because I'm an independent contractor? I don't work on the hourly basis. So we have all these very big issues. We got to look at the language of the bill before we understand whether, we're covered with something like this. And then when we start to see the details, then we understand them. And that may not be in the next 48 hours. So when would we see the bill? We'd likely see it, I guess, the week after that. The week after that, well, when are they going to put it to a vote? When are they put it for a vote? By all accounts, Mitch McConnell says that there will not be a normal operation of the Senate until at least January 19th. Until then, they're just not doing stuff. So by that account, we're not going to have anything for this really to a vote until then. But it only takes a half a day to vote on it. So will Nancy get it approved, before the 19th in the House and have it ready for Joe Biden on the 20th? That's the hope. Daily, I ask viewers what they think is going to happen. What do you think is going to happen on routing? And a lot of them think that there's lack of urgency at hand here, that people are just really not focusing on the stimulus. You can certainly see that there's a lot of talk about other things in Washington this week. If you try to search for discussions about stimulus, you can't find them. If you have to search for a press conference about stimulus, you can't find them. The best we've heard from Joe Biden about stimulus was a statement on Friday and a statement on Monday. Last Friday, said he was going to do student loan debt forgiveness of $10,000. That was good. And then on Monday said, you can do stimulus while you're doing appointments of my cabinet members and while you're doing an impeachment trial. There's time to do stimulus as well. Well, I would hope so. I mean, the stimulus is urgent. The stimulus is imperative it does be done right now. You don't need cabinet members to be sworn in on day one. You need the stimulus to go out on day one. You need Treasury to be sworn in right away because Treasury oversees the stimulus check going out. And then everyone else can be sworn in a day or two later, but you need the stimulus package to go out right away. And so viewers like myself are a little bit concerned about the sort of aura we see at the moment of a lack of urgency. So what I want you to do to prepare for next week, and viewers have asked me, and this is my answer, how do you prepare for next week to pounce as a purple hawk? What documents should you get ready for? What list should you be making? Well, we've gone over the list a lot on this channel. Make a list, second stimulus, items under second stimulus, third items under third stimulus. What are the documents you should have ready? Your 2018 tax return, your 2019 tax return, your corporate tax return, if you have it for the LLC, the corporation. And then what else that may follow through from that. So if it's you getting money, as a business, as a Schedule C, then get a copy of a canceled check, or just get a canceled check from your checkbook. Get a copy of your financial statement. Get these bank statements ready. Because when you have these things ready, these are going to be documents they ask for. They're going to ask you for a certain series of documents, and they're going to ask for either your Social Security number or your EIN. They're going to ask for your gross revenue or your cost of goods sold, and you need to have those things ready. If you don't have them ready, then you may not know the answers. And not knowing those answers could delay you. Ultimately, what you don't want to do is have a delay in the application process because you didn't have the document ready. Why would you do that? Don't do that. Have the documents ready. And ironically, the documents are also important for second stimulus. A document like a tax return will have a lot of information on it that you need to have ready, like the date that the business started, your Social Security number, your official mailing address, the type of business it is, what you classify it as on your tax return. Schedule C, what does Schedule C says? What does line 1 and line 2 say to Schedule C? What was your gross revenue if you're a low-income family? What is your zip code? Are you in a low-income community? These type of questions are what they're going to ask when you do second stimulus, rent, utilities, and food. Third stimulus, EIDL, PPP. That is why you want to have these documents ready. An extra copy on whatever method you're going to communicate with these agencies. If you're going to do it by email, get an extra PDF on your computer and similar things like this. What do I think is going to happen on the third stimulus? My comments are actually consistent with viewers generally. I think that there will be multiple checks. I don't think one $1,400 check is going to be the totality from now to June, if that's what this bill covers. I think that FPUC has to be retro. It doesn't have to be retro at $600 a week, but it does have to be retro. And it does have to go forward at something more than $300 a week. You do have to pay hazard pay. You don't have to pay $10,000 of hazard pay. And you don't have to include everything from your brother, your uncle, and your sister as an eligible pool of applicants. The eligibility for Nancy Pelosi's hazard pay is too broad. It's just too broad. It covers absolutely everyone. EIDL grant, I don't think there's anything that is more important than fixing everyone's EIDL grants for 2020. And then raising the threshold for the EIDL loan. Why is there a threshold on keeping them small? If people qualify for a bigger loan, let them have a bigger loan. PPP, hazard pay, SSI and SSDI. I think everything about SSI and SSDI makes sense. It should be done exactly as so proposed. And there you are. We will see what will happen. And what I certainly do believe is you're going to see new instruments we've never heard of before. You got to remember, PUA new, FPUC new. All these things were created under CARES Act 1, the first stimulus package. This is Joe Biden's legacy. So you would assume that he would create new instruments that are called different things, that are totally new. FPUC, PUA, PPP. These are things that were created under the first stimulus package. They never existed in this country before then. So you presume that Joe Biden should create new instruments. He doesn't even have to use the prior instruments. He can call them something else. And I haven't covered that at all on this channel. And I'll probably cover throughout the day. So please subscribe. Go to the front of the channel, subscribe. Hit that alert button as well. Like this video and consider becoming a member by joining. Stay informed, stay focused, and stay of LA for more. And I will next see you on the 8:30 edition of Mornings LALATE.